Track that
Okay, I've been asked to push things on because Karen would like as much time as possible to reply to John. And as it's now 10 o'clock, I think I would ask Karen to stand up and give us the reply from the Lassies. Thank
you. Once she gets
Good evening. It's delightful to have been asked to be here. Joe was just explaining to me that he just heard someone in the corridor say, "Who's giving the reply?" And someone else saying, "I think it's one of Joe's wives." Just to let you know, I was his first wife. And I would also like to thank John for his comments about sisterhood. It's very appreciative. Good to have our strengths recognised. And also for you to have a bit of therapy and sharing your concerns about how you manage our strengths as men. I was also charmed to hear from this John here that there was a club in Scotland whose motto was actually "May prick and purse never fail you." And I would like to recommend that that becomes a future marriage vow. And as my husband just said to me, and the first one's the most important, I said, absolutely, darling. And I thought I'd take this opportunity because some of you may know that I'm a friend of Sheila's and I'm a teacher originally, and couldn't really pass it up as an opportunity to help men understand a little bit more about women and how they can improve their relationships with women. So I started by reflecting on the fact that 200 years ago, Robert Burns didn't seem to need any help. And the kind of key characteristics that he demonstrated, I'm sure, would still be just as attractive today. He was a cheeky chap, he was a flirt, he was sexy, he loved women, he wasn't threatened by them, he was educated and articulate, and he was a man who, I'll repeat this and say it slowly, was able to express his feelings. And although he was not able to load a dishwasher, I'm sure that if he had been alive today, he would have managed that without any issue around his masculinity. He was, of course, very patriotic, and I also am very patriotic and very proud of my hometown, and I'm an Ayrshire girl. And I grew up in Kilmarnock, so I dispute all of that. You may know about Kilmarnock in terms of being the place in terms of the very famous volume of Burns poetry called the Kilmarnock Edition, and it was the first place that Burns' poems were published. More recently, of course, you will know that Kilmarnock's reputations continue to have grown with the screening of the TV programme The Scheme. I returned to Kilmarnock recently to attend a wedding. I was made very welcome, as usual, on the West Coast. After recognising the bride, as she was wearing a white tracksuit, I said, "That would be lovely, we're so friendly down here." He said, "Okay, you take the front wheels, I'll take the back." Of course, I don't mean any of these disparaging remarks about Kilmarnock, because Ayrshire was a great place to grow up, surrounded by Burns' suppers and the history of Burns and the poems and the songs. Now, usually the reply to the Toast of the Lassies is an opportunity to point out men's weaknesses. I thought my speech would be no different to that. However, I thought that by the time we were finished, you'd be clear about what we're looking for in a man, and you'd also have an opportunity to take away an action plan. Now, I thought we'd start by talking about sex. Okay, you all ready now? That is sex in the context of being flirtatious and having foreplay. Repeat that word, foreplay. Not spelled F-O-U-R, play. Not about four people involved, but four as in before play. Okay? You know that look that women get when they want sex? No.
No.
Get it straight. The reason you don't see that women's look is because you don't get the foreplay right. Now, when we were all 19, and some of you lovely young people are still very young, so I'm going to put you in that category, because I can watch the relationships and observe that some of that might be true, because I was you once. When you're 19, this mattered less. Foreplay mattered less. Let me give you an example. I met my good husband when I was 19. And this is the story of how we met. I need you to join in on that chorus. It was on a Friday evening, as girls were in the pub. A handsome man was standing there, and he became my love. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. I looked across the bar at him and thought he looked so fine. And then he asked what drink I'd have. I said, a glass of wine. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. He leaned towards me, smiling sweet. I thought he'd say a poem. Instead, he staggered close to me and said, can I take you home? Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. We walked together up the street and he was being fresh. His chat was non-existent then, but his kisses, they were best. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. Although we're married quite a while and love each other true, we're working on improvements which he'll need to see it through. Oh, Charlie is my darling, my darling, my darling. Charlie is my darling, the young Chevalier. So when you're 19, okay, when you're 19, foreplay is not so important. However, when women marry men, they think that men will change, and they don't. When men marry women, they think that women won't change, and they do. So what you want at 19, you don't want at a different age. This is very important for men to understand. Otherwise, sex will become like a game of bridge. If you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand. Men, of course, have been compared to a shoe, usually unpolished with the tongue hanging out. But more often compared to a Monday, because it always comes too soon. I know, of course, that men have the capacity to develop skills in chat and foreplay, and if they don't, they're in danger of being replaced by chocolate. Chocolate, as you know, is a very tempting treat which heads straight for your bum and thighs, a bit like a man, but generally more satisfying. What women really want from men, of course, and you know this, you just can't do it, so pay attention, is to be romantic. We want you to be romantic, and we want to feel loved. Love, an irrational feeling of desire and excitement, occasionally aroused by a man, but more often by a handbag. The question about love is, how was it that Robert Burns managed to have so many, referred to already this evening, different relationships with many different women, from earthly women to high society women? Driven by a physical desire, he was a good-looking young man. However, he genuinely loved women. And you may know that I'm a friend of Sheila's, and that recently when Joe returned from New Zealand, he was again behaving like a 19-year-old. Because he'd missed her. He'd missed her so much. Sheila said, I mean, let's be honest, Karen, it was fine for a week. But really, I'm looking for more. So I said, okay, well, look, I can help Joe out, because in my spare time, I'm a sex therapist, so, you know, I can help Joe out, and I can put him through my 5-point action plan. Okay, I've been working with Joe now for, well, since he's come back to New Zealand for a few months. Sheila tells me it's fantastic, so here we go. Stage 1, admiration. Okay, we're looking for admiration, not adoration, that makes us feel sick. Admiration. Let me describe to you what admiration might look like. Compliments, send us a little card, write us a little verse, occasional flowers, say I love you, write this down, yes, I'll email it to you later. If there is enough admiration, that will eventually lead to stage 2, which is create desire. Okay, create desire. Stage 1, admiration. Stage 2, create desire. If, however, it does not create desire, you are required to return to admiration. More admiration required. If, however, you do achieve a hint of desire, then you're required to move on to stage 3, which is about using your knowledge. Now, it's very important that as a lover, you expand your knowledge, not through porn, not by visiting lap dancing bars, but by paying particular attention to your partner. Having gained and increased the knowledge, you're ready to move on to stage 4, application of knowledge. Demonstrating skill and ability, and finally, you need practice and reinforcement, and you must repeat the whole cycle again. Not forgetting phases 1 and 2 and 3, and do not move straight to stage 4. So we want to feel loved, and we want to feel cherished, and we want to know that without us, you would be heartbroken. So I thought, well, Lauren's made that really easy. How about this for admiration? To see her is to love her, and love but her forever. For nature made her what she is, and never made another. Beautiful. We admired. We love that. How about this for being cherished at the end of perhaps the end of a very long-term relationship? John Anderson, my Joe, John, we climbed the hill together, and many a canty day, John, we've had we in another. Now we mun totter down, John, and hand in hand we'll go, and we'll sleep together at the foot. John Anderson, my Joe. How about this beautiful verse from A Fond Kiss? Had we never loved so kindly, had we never loved so blindly, never met nor never parted, we would ne'er be broken-hearted. Yeah. Love song. We're not asking to recreate this, we're just asking to look up the book, copy it out into a card for us. And that's the most beautiful love song of all that Burns wrote. To feel truly loved, my love is like a red, red rose. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My heart is like a melody that sweetly plays its tune, and fair art thou, my bonny love, say deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry, till all the seas gang dry, my love, and the rocks melt with the sun, and I will love thee still, my dear, those sands of life shall run, and fare thee will, my only love, and fare thee will a while, and I would come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles, and I would come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. To be gratefully received, admiration, being cherished, being loved, that's what we like. But of course, we women are not are realistic, if nothing else. So 25, we'd like our men to be thoughtful and occasional surprises and be an imaginative, romantic lover. By the age of 40, we'd like him to remember birthdays and anniversaries. And I'd like him to seek romance at least once a week. By the age of 50, we're content if he remembers to put the toilet seat down, shave on most weekends. By the age of 60, it's really great if you can remember our name on occasion, shave some weekends. And by 70, it's good if you're breathing and don't miss the toilet. So, to conclude, on behalf of all of us women here this evening, we want you all to know, gentlemen, whether you're 22 or 70 or somewhere in between, that we love you mostly just the way you are, and we wouldn't want our lives to be without you. So ladies, please join me and raise your glasses to the Lassies.
Cheers. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to thank all our speakers tonight, and especially Karen, because I think she's increased the profits back at the bunker, because this is where we're all going to take comfort. Lock the doors and keep them out. Anyway, thank you to all our speakers. Thank you to Joe for organising tonight. Thank you to John for thanking Susie, because I did forget before she left. And as the menu says, the entertainment now is the assembled company. So avoid those that you wish to avoid and speak to those that you wish to. Have a good night.